understand something. Plain and simple. To me, Abigail was a delicious poison. An intoxicating, overwhelming poison. Yowie wowie! That felt good! Yowie wowie. Let me in. It's Monday. You know what that means. We're back with another episode of Abby's Window. And as you can see on the screen, we are paying tribute to John Huber, a.k.a. Luke Harper, a.k.a. Brodie Lee. And obviously, this has really hit the wrestling world extremely hard. And, we want to make sure that we pay tribute to the man. Obviously, we love him as a wrestler. I know I did, and from seeing some of you in the comments, you definitely did as well. So what I'd like to do, and I'm going to bring Jodie in here in a second, but what I'd like to do tonight is I'm going to have something scrolling across the bottom here in a few minutes, and I want you to give me your favorite Luke Harper / Brodie Lee match, and let us know why that was your favorite match. Jodie, how are you this afternoon? I know you are in a very beautiful landscape.
I
right?
am.
But how are you doing today?
I'm good. I've been in the car a lot over the past 2 days, or 3 days rather. We drove to North Carolina on Saturday, and that took us about 11 hours. And spent Sunday with my parents. We picked up at noon today and came to Myrtle Beach. We'll be here until New Year's Eve.
Got you.
So,
and,
it was a very emotional day yesterday, obviously, for more than one reason. We got this awful sad news, and then I also got some really good news yesterday too. So that I'm not allowed to share yet.
Okay. Well.
But tears of joy
that's right.
for that one.
There you go. I want to shout out some people in the chat real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit about John Huber and his tragic passing. We have Matt the Misfit, Drift Lewis, Rusty Shackelford, Gamer Guy, Jodie. I don't know how you're being magic in the chat as well. Jen Carter. Hope you feel better, Jen. I'm sorry that you're not feeling well. Jason Peace, John Cena Gamer 0809, Day Vision Gamers, FCW2. Let's see, James Chadwick, hello to you. Robert Morris, Krista Zuba, Steve Walker, Shane Loki, Sean, how are you? Dave in Real Life, EJ Movement, Darren Long, Joey's Adventures, KC. Let's see here. Christian is saying hello from Germany. Thank you for joining us. James Grant, Deanna, thank you for joining as well. Ahmad, thank you for joining us. So, like I said, let us know. Oh, Jacoby Snow, hey, you just got in here. Thank you for joining as well. So, like I said, we want to hear what your favorite Brodie Lee / Luke Harper matches were. But the Texas-based wrestling fan, thank you for joining as well. We got a good crowd in here tonight. So Jodie, I guess my first question to you is, what were your thoughts when you heard about this tragic news?
Sorry, my mic was muted.
That's okay.
Honestly, at first I thought it was a joke. I was like, this can't be happening, and everybody kind of did the same thing, I think. Immediately you're thinking, this can't actually be real. And, and you're like, I got to go do some research and find out if this is legit. I think that was my first question, actually, when I got the text that something had happened. I was like, is that legit? Like, and then you get that unfortunate realization that it was. And, you immediately feel that sense of loss, especially being a fan. And I knew that it was only a matter of time. I was pretty misty-eyed when it all happened, but I didn't really start getting really emotional until I started reading all of the responses from everybody that knew him. And then, of course, Bray comes along, and you just literally you just feel your heart shatter. And I'm not even going to call him Bray in that moment, because
that's Wyndham.
It was Wyndham, and you just felt every single one of those words. I was like, oh my God. And I kind of lost it after that.
Yeah. I remember just being on Twitter, and I saw something about John Huber, and I'm like, wait, that's Brodie Lee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, please don't tell me that this is what I think it is. And I started seeing all the tributes and everything, and it really just, what's been a terrible, terrible year, just continues to just wreak havoc. And thank God there's only a few more days left in this year.
I'm ready to give 2020 a swift kick in the nuts, to be honest with you.
It can get curb stomped real quick.
For sure.
Sure. And we have not, and I want to make sure we say this too. And Brandy, I saw, joined us. Thank you. Hayden Garrett, Jesse Callan, Sonny Wolf. If I miss anyone, I'm sorry. We've got a lot of folks in here, and we're just trying to make sure we get through everything. But we have not been on the air since Joe's father passed away. And also want to send love and prayers to Joe and his family. Honestly, this year has just sucked. This year has been terrible, and there's no two ways about it. You can try and get on the pig, but it is 2020, but it's still ugly as crap right now because it's 2020, and this year's just been bad. But I was a huge fan of Brodie Lee. I remember seeing him on the Indies before he hit the big time. And, you could tell that he was a talented guy then, not only from a wrestling standpoint, but from character work. He was awesome. So definitely when he got into NXT and joined with Bray, and and they went off to the races, I just knew that he was going to excel. And I'm going to start this off, and Jodie, I'm going to ask you the same question. But for me, I couldn't really choose between the two, but my favorite matches were, one, his debut in NXT against Jason Jordan. Honestly, seeing this big, huge, massive figure out there, we didn't get his names. The announcers didn't know who the heck he was. We just saw this big, huge, bearded guy with a dirty undershirt come out there and just beat the crap out of Jason Jordan. So that was one. And then when he won the IC title, that was, you can go back to when he won the tag straps with with Rowan as the Bludgeon Brothers and all of that. But honestly, seeing him get the individual title meant a lot, because if you look at his story and what he went through and all of that, it's just, oh my gosh. Just seeing that moment was very, very satisfying for a fan of his. The last thing I want to say is this, and then Jodie, I'm going to ask you that question. John's wife said that he passed of a non-COVID related lung issue. I don't want to speculate anymore. I'm not going to. That's not what we do. That's not what we're about. And it's also incredibly disrespectful to his family, his friends, and everyone that loved him to speculate on anything other than that. Obviously, we knew that he hadn't been on TV for quite some time, and we didn't know why. Kudos to the AEW locker room for not putting things out there, because it would have been very easy for any of them to say, well, I heard that he got this going on or that going on. That wasn't their place. His wife put out a statement. That's all we need. If there was anything that I'd love to say to the wrestling websites that write articles and all of that, be respectful of his family and friends. And just, it's not your place to speculate. And, it's just not your place. And the last thing is, I have not seen one bad word about this guy. Not one bad word.
If you guys haven't read Randy Orton's Instagram post, you need to go read it.
Yeah.
That one got me really emotional too.
Yeah. I mean, you haven't seen one bad word about this guy, and this is beyond him as a performer in the ring. This is about him as a person, as a father, as a husband, as a friend. So whenever you see people all singing the same tune about a person, 9 times out of 10, and I'm going to say this time 10 times out of 10, you can tell that it's real and it's genuine. So to all of his friends, his family, his wife, I feel so terrible for his kids. Our prayers and thoughts are with you, and just know that I know that doesn't make it easier, but the fact that you had someone in your life that was as beloved and is still beloved as he is just a testament to how great of a man he was. So, Jodie, I'll kick it over to you, and you tell me your favorite match and any thoughts you have on Brodie Lee.
I mean, me being very new to wrestling, the only exposure I really got to John was, with the Wyatt family. So, immediately I'm going to go to the Shield versus the Wyatt family at Elimination Chamber. And it just does not get much better than that. I mean, you've got these two great factions clashing with each other. It was I actually just watched it again yesterday because it was such a good match. And I think a lot of people are going to say that, but it's well deserved. I mean, it's such a good match.
Absolutely. Joey's Adventure says, I have a personal story about Harper. He was extremely nice at WrestleMania Access. He ran down the ADA line, high-fiving and shaking hands with everyone. Dave in Real Life says, Huber has his son at his matches all the time and is the perfect father and role model. John Cena Gamer saying the Shield versus the Wyatt family because it was a clash of two great stables.
Yep.
Hayden Garrett says, I'm going to miss Brodie Lee / Luke Harper so much. It's my honor and pleasure to watch him wrestle in WWE from 2012 to 2009 as Luke Harper and AEW this year as Brodie Lee. Yeah. But Butterspark brings up another good one. I don't know how many people have had an opportunity to see this, but Seth Rollins' Instagram post.
Yeah.
Wow.
That one got me a little bit too. I mean, a lot of them, honestly, like every single one of them tugged at your heartstrings, but there were, 3 or 4 of them that I was just like, oh my gosh.
And honestly, Braun's message as well.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And Eric Rowan's. I mean,
yeah. EJ Movement says, and props to JR for taking Brodie Jr. out for a sports game to try and get the kid's mind off of it. Yes, he did take Brodie Lee Jr., which, John Huber Jr., I'm sure. But he took him to the Jaguars game yesterday. And wow. I mean, it's just amazing. Matt says, any future Brodie Lee merch on Pro Wrestling Tees, all proceeds for the next month will go to his family. So yeah, I mean that's how. Yeah. KC says, I've not cried, but when he arrived in AEW, he was so excited. Even in WWE during the Randy run, he was getting started to bring a main event. Yes. Yeah, I saw Dax from FTR. James Chadwick says, did you see Dax from FTR message about Brodie? If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that Dax talked about how his wife had a miscarriage, and Brodie Lee and his wife would call her to check in on her and send care packages and everything. I mean, it's just wow. It's just I mean, it tells you the type of person that this guy was, and I mean,
Biggie also had a beautiful one. I mean, they all did.
They all did. I mean, we could probably sit here for an hour and just talk about how all these tributes have come in and how touching all of them have been. Eric Harper, thank you for joining. Do you think Bray, Braun, and Eric will be on the stage for the 10 bell salute? Honestly, I don't know. I can tell you this, though, and I'll say this. I really, truly hope that WWE, which I don't have a reason to think they won't, but they should truly honor him tonight on Raw. They should do a tribute at the beginning of the show. I don't care if he went to AEW. The one thing I really like about how AEW is doing all of this is that they're sharing WWE's tweets and different things from WWE. So that shows you just how this is. I mean, this is larger than wrestling. So this is bigger than a ratings war that people fight over on Twitter. This is much bigger than that. This is a man and his life. So yeah.
Also, props to Brittany Kay, who made that smart.
Yes. I was just about to shout out Brittany Kay, who did this amazing show. I mean, honestly, when I saw this, I got misty-eyed. I mean, I really did, because it's like, wow, what? Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Like it's so well done. So shout out to Brittany Kay. I'm trying not to get emotional right now just looking at it. But shout out to her for doing this, because it's absolutely amazing. And James Chadwick says Brodie Lee's death is on par with how shocking and how hurtful it is to when Eddie Guerrero died. Kicks you right in the gut. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree. This one is, for whatever reason, this one just hit a lot differently. Like this hit a lot differently. And I remember when we got in the news about Eddie, and I was emotional. I was emotional then because I loved Eddie. I watched him from his days as a cruiserweight in WCW until, and all up until winning the heavyweight championship in WWE. And, um, seeing him pass away in the way that he did, it was so tragic and, taken far too young. And that's the thing. And that's the other thing here too, is that this guy was only 41 years old. And, and it's so sad, so unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
And, I feel like I'm rambling too much, Jody. I'm sorry. We'll get to it. The news that we did get from last week's Raw. But the one thing I want to say to folks is I know this year has sucked terribly.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that social media can be toxic as hell, honestly. Yeah. But if there's anything that we can pull from this tragedy, is that we got to be kind to one another. Because if you read the tributes that he received, and you can't pull away from that, man, this was a good guy to a lot of people. Let's try to model that behavior when we're on social media. We never know what words we say, what type of effect they have on someone. You never know what someone is going through on the other side of that screen.
Yep.
So let's try to pull together. Let's try to be better. As we go forward. Rusty says it's a special person that can break the dividing wall between two companies in their remembrance of his life. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, honestly, there's no good way to segue into the rest of this show, because obviously we talk about Bray Wyatt, and not only did we talk about John Huber because he's an amazing he was an amazing talent and amazing person, but he's also friends with Bray Wyatt. And obviously there's no good way to segue into this, but we did get an appearance last week from Alexa Bliss, and shout out to Black Mask Design for this photo.
Yeah.
This is a really cool photo.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely a shout out to Black Mask Design. But we got an appearance from Alexa, and this was in her playground. And honestly, Jody, I have no idea how in the world they put that playground together that quick.
I have no idea. Unless they pre-taped it, I have no idea. If they did that live, major props to them, because
Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, I have no idea how in the world they pulled that off so fast.
They didn't, because he built it for her.
That's true. That's true. And we have some people in that saying it was pre-taped. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure, but it's like it. Honestly, it's the magic of television, which was fantastic.
Magic of television and no fans in the building.
That's it. Yeah, it had to be pre-taped, says Steve Walker. I agree. Piers Wrestling, thank you for joining us, says, do you think we will see the Fiend tonight? I think at the Rumble. Yeah. Jody, I'll let you go ahead and take that.
I think it's pretty obvious based on what Alexa said last week that we might see a different version of the Fiend when he comes back. And there's so much you can dig out of what she said. I mean, she said that he's gone home, but then pointed down, and that she said it's like he absorbed into the match. So, how many times have people referred to people being under the ring as being hell? So did he go home to hell? He absorbed into the mat. So, and then she said, if he does come back, it'll be like nothing you've ever seen before. So, that would lead me to believe that, we're getting some kind of revamp of the Fiend. And me personally, I would love for him to come back in the middle of the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
I would love for just the lights to go out. He comes up from the middle of the ring, surrounded by fire. And that's it.
There you go.
That's how I would like to see his return. Me personally, considering how much fire was involved, I could see it being sort of a Freddy Krueger vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also believe, and I don't know this or not know this, like I haven't been told anything, but I also think that the fact that he was wearing 2 different contacts is an Easter egg.
Yes, nothing is ever wasted.
Just my personal belief, because I went back and watched it again about a week ago. Something like middle of last week or something. I went back and watched it again, and he definitely had 1 blue eye and 1 red eye at the beginning of the match, and then literally maybe 30 seconds later, he had the 2 red eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my husband were talking about it, and I was like, well, maybe they filmed it out of order, and something happened to his contact, and I was like, no, why would they film an Inferno match out of order? So they clearly, started that, stopped for him to put the contact in, and then started again.
Right.
So I think it's just my opinion. I think that's an Easter egg, that this new character might be more of an amalgam of all of his characters put together. So I think he's going to have 1 blue eye and 1 red eye. And maybe, he comes back with half of his mask burned off. I don't know. That would be cool. But
That's true. That's true. We are getting Alexa and Randy tonight. We do know that.
We are.
That's been confirmed. Dave in real life.
I personally, to answer the other half of that question, I personally don't think we see the Fiend until the Rumble.
Until the Rumble.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. Dave in real life says it will be more Alexa's playground tonight, and maybe for a while as next week it's Raw Legends.
Yep.
Yes, Rusty Shackelford asked, how long does this go until Randy actually attacks Alexa? Will he attack Alexa?
No.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Steve Walker.
Something else she said too, and I forget exactly what the words were. She said something like, he built this for me, and for now, we're going to call it Alexa's Playground. So that, again, makes me feel like he's going to be off of TV for a little while.
Yeah.
And I think instead of the Firefly Funhouse, it's going to be Alexa's Playground.
I could see that. Let's see here. Elijah Washington, thank you for joining. Elijah says, hey, Jodie and Wrestling Insiders, how you guys been? I can't wait to see what Alexa and Randy has in store. Maybe Bray going to have a video package that says I'm coming soon. Steve Walker had a question, which I think is a good question. When he comes back, dreadlocks or no, since he was burned alive?
I think dreadlocks.
You think dreadlocks?
I think he's going to look more like, and you and I talked about this before too, I think he's going to look more like the Fiend version of Man in the Woods.
Okay.
So I actually think they'll be more yellow.
Oh, okay. And folks, if you're a Bray fan and you have not heard the story of the Man in the Woods, look it up on.
You're missing out.
You've missed out. Because my God, oh my, I mean,
I still can't believe that he had this in his head like a decade ago.
yeah, it's
And
crazy.
you're like, you've been planning this for a decade?
For a decade. I mean, it's crazy. Moda, I don't know if I shouted you out earlier, but thank you for joining us. Says, with Bray Strowman at WWE, they could bring back Rowan for one night, have a Wyatt family versus the New Day because 5 of the 6 are still there, and have a memorial match for John. I would love that. I absolutely would. I really would. Jodie, thoughts on Alexa talking to herself last week or looking at the other swing?
I think she was talking to a Funhouse Bray.
Okay.
But we couldn't see him.
Yeah.
Because he's in her mind.
What about the horse? We've got that here in the on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
This was obviously a callback to the earlier vignettes when we saw this same horse.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? What does this? What do you think this is going to be about? Do you think there's significance to it?
Of course. Everything Bray does has significance. There is nothing that he does that doesn't mean something. He's very intentional about that. And he's very good about hiding things in plain sight. Like the urn in the WrestleMania match. But that's for another day. So I think a lot of what we're seeing, and I know we've talked about that before, is there's a part of this, Firefly Funhouse, Alexa's Playground, that's imaginary.
Mm.
So I think what we're seeing, I think the Firefly Funhouse is Bray's imagination. I think that the playground is Alexa's version of the Firefly Funhouse.
Okay.
So because she has such a connection with Bray, with Funhouse Bray and the Fiend, I think that's why the rocking horse is there. Because that's something that he did that she's kind of taking with her. Does that make sense?
That makes a ton of sense.
I could be totally completely wrong, but that's okay.
Rusty says, something tells me that when the Fiend does return, he will rise from a fire. That is, if Randy keeps his pyromaniac intentions alive.
I think he's going to rise from fire out of the middle of the ring.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Dave in Real Life says, I don't think anyone who's a Bray fan hasn't seen The Man in the Woods.
True.
Listen, that's very true. Very true.
Unless you're a new Bray fan.
Unless you're a new Bray fan, which if you are, welcome. Wrestling Days fan, thank you for coming. I'm sorry I didn't shout you out earlier, dude. Please don't be upset with me, please. Piers Wrestling says, hey, some people aren't a fan of the supernatural stuff. Are you? I'm okay with it. We love it because honestly, if we didn't love it, we probably wouldn't be doing this show, and wouldn't be such huge fans of Bray. And I don't want to answer for Jodie, so Jodie, you go ahead.
Oh, I love the supernatural stuff. I mean, especially with how crappy this year has been, there needs to be. I enjoy things that allow me to suspend. I'm trying to figure out the right way to say this. Suspend my belief system for a brief amount of time and just enjoy things. And that's why I have no problem with it being supernatural, because A, I'm a big horror movie fan, and B, it's a nice break from having to be realistic all the time.
Right. Absolutely. Bertrice says, and thank you for joining. Do you think the Firefly Funhouse will be gone for a while?
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. James Grant says that horse was seen before when we got a video of the Funhouse, long before we got the first episode of the Firefly Funhouse. That is correct.
I remember.
That is
Which is
correct.
why I think it's in Alexa's playground, because it's telling us that even though he's not there, they're still connected.
Right. Absolutely. Elijah says, Jeff, question. Do you see Bray Wyatt bringing in Bo Dallas to swerve us? And it's not Bray in the mask. It's actually Bo Dallas. But at the end, Randy starts walking and Bray is behind him and hits Sister Abigail. Jody, what do you think about that?
I'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
It's not a storyline I would particularly pick, but yeah, I mean, I'd definitely be okay with it being that way. He's very good at misdirection, almost kind of like a magician. But so I wouldn't be surprised if he did something like that. I'd be okay with it.
Yeah. Darren Long. Chris upset me earlier because he has country steak and biscuits, so a little bit mad about that.
I got some cookout.
I saw that cup. I was going to comment on it, and I'm kind of pissed right now because I really want a bacon double burger tray with.
I got a BLT and hush puppies.
See, man, perks of being in the South.
I know, I love it.
And you had to tease me with that Bojangles the other day.
Yep, I did have Bojangles. We had Bojangles today as well.
I have it. When you move away from it, you miss it. But when you're there all the time, it's like, do I really want Bojangles? Now, if I went back down south, I'd eat it every day, I think.
Yep.
So Chris says, I bet the Fiend smells like brisket now. Good grief, Chris. Darren Long says, did anyone else think when he stood up and raised his hands and screamed and the fire erupted was hauntingly beautiful? Mm-hmm. That whole match was beautiful. Mm-hmm. KC says Bray Wyatt debuts a new character next week that destroys all the legends. That'd be cool. Butterspark says, shh, Bray is coming back as Taxman. Yes, he's going to come back as a IRS Junior.
IRS Junior.
John Cena Gamer asks, do you think that Alexa's Playground will have its own logo?
Yeah.
You think so?
But it'll look exactly like the Firefly Funhouse logo.
Okay. Dave in Real Life asks, is the Fiend going to get darker or lighter with Alexa taking the more darker character? What C Wrestling's theory is?
Darker. 100%.
You think
100%.
darker.
And that's all I'm going to say.
Okay. I feel like you got a theory. I know you have a theory, and I'm sure we'll get into it. So, Little T says hello. Eric Harper says, Jody, do you like that Alexa has her own personality with purple lights instead of the red? So the playground, instead of it having the red light, she has the purple light. Do you like that?
Yeah, I think it's a good way of giving her own gimmick, but still keeping her connected to the Fiend. I think it suits her really well. I think she's doing a phenomenal job playing this character. Yeah, but I think they need that degree of separation just for her to establish herself so she can start doing her own thing.
Yeah.
What that is, I don't know yet.
I didn't realize I was 6 minutes behind on comments, so I apologize, folks. Dalton Riley, that's how many people we have in here right now.
Wow.
Dalton Riley, Sean Rousset, V9 Gaming HD, Big Dan, thank you all for joining us. I am going to, if I missed your comment, I'm sorry. It's kind of hard keeping up with all of your comments, which is a good thing. I'm not complaining about it. Sean Rousset says, Jeff and Jody, I would like to see the rocking horse move tonight. Possibility showing someone else is there, just invisible. Jodie,
I think that's what we were getting with the swing. Does that make sense? Because the swing was moving next to her. The swing next to her was moving, which is why I say she was talking to Funhouse Bray, but it was in her mind.
True. All right, let's see here. Okay, so now we're all caught up. So, Jodie,
What
do you think is next for Alexa and Randy tonight? What do you think we get tonight?
I'm not quite sure what we get tonight. I think it's going to be kind of what we were saying about this being a slow burn between Randy and Bray. I think it's going to be the same between Alexa and Randy now. I definitely think that we're going to start to get. Hold on one second.
Jodie has a little. This is the beauty of live, is that she's having a conversation right now, as you can see on the screen. I feel like I'm commentating on golf right now because I got real low for a second. And Jodie is standing on the 18th green, about a 6-foot putt. This to win the tournament. Let's see if she hits it.
Sorry, 7-year-old.
I'm over here commentating like this is a golf tournament. So it tells you that I'm just.
I don't even remember where I was. She was asking me a question about swimming. So yeah, I think this is going to start to be a little bit of a slow burn. I think we're going to get a lot of hints that Bray is coming back and the Fiend is coming back, but not yet. But I think we're going to start to get little things along the way, like little clues.
Yeah.
That he's coming back. So maybe that's kind of what Alexa does.
It's possible.
She's starting to say, he's not ready to come back yet.
Yeah.
Or, you better watch out because he's coming back soon. So
Butterspart says there should definitely be a permanent reference of some sort to Harper in the Funhouse, whether a side puppet or a prop. That would be an awesome nod, and I would not be surprised if we got that. Just being honest. Rusty asked, "Do you think that Alexa gets any puppets of her own for the playground?"
I think that's why they're starting with the rocking horse. I think it's going that way. Either that or maybe the Funhouse puppets show up in the playground. Because she's kind of babysitting, I guess.
Miguel, thank you for joining us.
I love Rusty with the Happy Gilmore references.
I know. I was just waiting for it. I was waiting for someone to throw me the Happy Gilmore reference as I'm talking about sinking the putt, and Rusty did not disappoint on that one.
You will not make this putt, jackass.
Bertree says, "Do you think Alexa's Playground will have an intro like the Funhouse?"
Yeah.
You do think? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Big Dan says, "Jeff, what about Fiend graffiti like with Batman in The Dark Knight Rises?" Oh man!
Ooh.
Oh, Big Dan!
How did that?
I love that.
What if we start to see the color on the swing set change?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by like subtle little things are going to be changing along the way. And then these little hints, these little Easter eggs, it would be something like that, like graffiti, or you see a puppet somewhere, or colors of things start to change, or someone's appearance changes a little bit. Like they're all going to be these little tiny Easter eggs, breadcrumbs along the way. And then when he comes back, you can be like, well, damn, Bray.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm gonna get to that comment, Dave, in real life. Dave says, Jeff, you should say to Jodie, it's all in the hips. It's all
in the hips.
I can be what was his name again? Gosh.
Chuck.
Huh?
Was it Chuck?
No, was it Chubbs?
Chubbs. That's what it was. I think it started
Chubbs,
with a CH.
yeah.
Chuck Chubbs.
Jason P saying, Jeff, I'm in the Thunderdome tonight. So excited. Awesome. Have you been in there before, Jason? If you have, let us know. Now we're just gonna start getting Happy Gilmore quotes in I'm perfectly fine with. Yeah, Chubbs. It's all in the hips.
All in the hips.
Days fan said,
home, Bo. Are you too good for your home? Sorry. We needed to laugh.
We did, yeah. We started out heavy, so we need the laughs and everything. Whoa, Moda.
Thank you, Moda.
Thank you, Moda. Days fan says he has the best question ever. So
oh gosh.
I know what it's going to be about.
Why do I think it's going to be about Goldberg?
I know it's definitely going to be. Moda says, knowing that Bray, and again, thank you, Moda, for the very generous donation. Knowing that Bray the Fiend can't be gone for a significant period of time, could we get vignettes starting tonight or next week to build for a Rumble return?
I think that's what Alexa's purpose is. She is the vignette.
Oh, I like that.
She's going to be the one leaving the breadcrumbs. She's already started it.
Yeah.
And if he does come back, it'll be like nothing you've ever seen before. Then she stared him down the only way a woman scorned could.
Very true.
So,
very true.
She's already started it.
Yeah. B Tazzy has joined the party. What's up, my friend?
Now it's a party.
Thank you for joining. Drift Lewis says, Jodie, I tagged you in a tweet for a theory. We have heard Bray talk about butterflies. So what if when he returns, we get the butterfly Funhouse instead of the Firefly Funhouse?
I'm not. It's definitely an interesting theory. I'm not quite sure that's what he meant by the cocoon picture.
Yeah.
I think it was more symbolic for a change and a growth into something else.
Mm-hmm.
Guns don't kill people. I kill people. Thank you, Elijah. We just needed to laugh.
That's it. Days fan with his question. I'm not reading that.
Oh God.
That's not going to happen. And we're gonna skip right past that. Delanio Terrell rocking around the chair. Okay. Let's see here. Matt Slam 13, thank you for joining, says the Fiend comes out of a cocoon. Hey, stranger things have happened in wrestling. I'll say that.
True.
I mean, we did get the top of the group. I mean, we got the.
Rusty, you're killing me. He said the price is wrong, bitch.
Bertree says, what if there's a new puppet called Fire in Alexa's playground?
What puppet could symbolize fire?
You know, it would be really cool, but if this
what if
happens,
she has a Firefly puppet?
That would be cool. However, Please tell me that he. I hope
Huh?
that's not true.
What?
I really hope that's not true.
What?
What Moda just said. Chubbs, aka the Great Call. What? Please tell me he didn't pass away.
Hold on.
James Grant is inside of my head because I was going to say a phoenix.
Oh, we talked about that too. Remember when I said
Yep.
it reminded me of Harry Potter when
Yep.
the Phoenix died, he set on fire.
Yeah. The Phoenix rises from the ashes.
Ooh, Hades the horse. I like that.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
like that a lot. Hades the horse.
Hades the horse. Rusty said they have a new puppet named Sparky.
Sparky. That's awesome. I love it.
Moda says the cocoon would be weird because it would feel very gobbledygooker-esque. I agree with that. Let's see here. Fiend Bertree says Fiend comes out of an egg at the Rumble, a la gobbledygooker. God, I hope not. That would be terrible. Sapphire, thank you for joining. Matt Slam asked a good question here. Is there any room for Nikki Cross in Alexa's playground?
Possible. No, he's not dead. He's fine.
Okay. Man, like that just
according to Mr. Google.
Mr. Google has said okay. Man, goodness gracious. My heart sank there. Shane Loki says, I hope they don't change things too much. I love the Fiend and the Funhouse. I don't think that we'll get anything too different per se.
I don't think it's going to be different.
Evolution.
I think it's going to be darker.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's an evolution more than anything. Like I don't think it's a detour from the character. I just think it's an evolution of the character. Godzilla, he will be back with a new mask. Stalls 24. Jodie, I thought the same thing about the similarities to a phoenix when he was set on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. We always talk about the phoenix rising from the ashes. Let's see. James Grant says, I don't think much will change, but rather he'll be more darker like the USA Network is demanding of WWE. Big Dan is wanting the parrot to come back. We got to have the parrot come back.
I will use the word innovation. That's what I'm sticking with. We're going to see an innovation of the Fiend.
Yep. Piers Wrestling says, do you think the new Fiend evolution will have a new moveset?
No.
Okay.
It's all going to be up here. It's going to all be up here.
Gotcha.
Just my opinion. But
hey, Elijah Washington saying we've only just begun. That is very true.
And we've heard that multiple times. Jason said it. Jesse said it. Kyle said it. We haven't seen anything yet. Nothing.
Right. KC says Devil Wyatt should debut as the final form.
I dig it.
I like that.
I dig it.
Let's see here. James Chadwick says new Fiend gonna go batshit crazy.
What, you are or he is?
I think both.
Yeah.
I think we all will. Krista Hoover says if the Fiend comes back looking like Beth Phoenix, I'm out. Not the same Phoenix, but no. I see what you did there. Let's see. Drift Lewis says the more things change, the more they stay the same. Abigail is a delicious poison.
Thank you. Kidding.
Casey is saying because the Fiend is a demon, not a devil.
I disagree.
You think he's a devil?
I think he is Lucifer himself.
You think he is the?
I do. Yep.
See, we got to dive deeper into that one next week, I think.
Yeah.
We've got to dive deeper into that. Sapphire Joe is not normally on Abby's. It's just me and Jodie here. So
Joe's working.
And yeah, but he'll be on the Impact stream tomorrow night. Let's see here. Matt Slam 13 says there was a expletive load of Fiend merch on sale on WWE shop over Christmas.
I bought lots of it.
Yeah. So new mask equals more sales.
Money. Yep.
Money, 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 money.
They will change it just enough to come out with all new merch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Big Dan says, great quote. Alexa could use, there's a new Funhouse, Randy. It's located on Abbey Road.
That's fine.
I like it. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Butterspark saying the devil and his toll man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's way deeper than that. I will just say, if you go back through his entire career and look at how many biblical references there really are,
mm-hmm.
It'll blow your mind.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which is what caused me to develop this theory about him actually being Lucifer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you know what? What we got to do next week is we've got to tackle that. Like, start of the show, we got to dive into that because I really want to hear your thoughts about this. Like, I'm intrigued about this. So definitely. Let's see. Daryl says, "Can't kill the Fiend. He will be back. Indeed, he will be back. And if we got anything from last week, we know that it will be unlike anything
we've ever seen before."
So yeah. So Jodie, well, obviously we just heard about all the Fiend merch going away, being on sale, but do you know any other merch out there? Or I guess my question is, how much Fiend merch did you buy now that it's on sale?
I think I have everything on the WWE shop and Bray Wyatt section at this point.
Okay.
That's an overstatement. There's still a few things that I want. But they came out with that Toddler Firefly Funhouse t-shirt, and it is Logan's 3rd birthday in like 2.5 weeks. So since he adores Bray Wyatt, I bought him that for his birthday. We are also doing a Firefly Funhouse themed party.
Oh.
So I got him a Firefly Funhouse birthday cake. And since all the Christmas merch was on sale, I bought a Fiend on the Scene, all of the ornaments. And then for myself, I got that zip-up hoodie because I've been wanting it forever since it came out.
Gotcha. Well, the only Fiend merch that I have is not actually Fiend merch, it's Fiend art, and that's from our own Jesse Callan. So shout out to Jesse. But yeah, I definitely want some Fiend merch. So if there's someone,
there's a new backpack out there.
Ooh.
There's a new Fiend backpack out there.
Ooh.
It's pretty cool.
All right. I might have to go take a look at that. Listen, folks, all of the comments that you have about your theory on the Fiend being Lucifer or not, Save those until next Monday because I want us all to have a very robust conversation about this theory because I am so excited.
Start off the new year right?
Yeah, we're gonna start off the new year right and everything. Next week is a pretty cool week, especially there's a day next week that's kind of cool. Just gonna say, last couple things here. Sean says, "Would you guys be upset if he switched up the Fiend character, mask, etc.?"
No,
No.
because I think that's part of being a performer.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to very, very rarely, and it's for people like Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton, very, very rarely are you able to be successful for that long without reinventing yourself.
Right.
You know, almost everybody in the business has done it, like I said, with the exception of people like Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar. You know, you don't last long unless you can reinvent yourself. And Bray is so good at doing that.
Yes.
That, like I said, I don't think it's going to be a huge transformation. I think it's just going to be darker and way, way more sinister. I think they took the opportunity. I think he's took the opportunity now that, you know, USA Network says they want more adult content. They want things to be darker. He probably was jumping up and down like a kid on Christmas morning, like, okay, you want something darker? I got plenty of dark stuff for you. Especially, you know, Kyle even told us that too, that, you know, the original artwork for the Fiend was way darker. And some of the artwork he's done since has been way darker. So, yeah.
Awesome.
I think things are about to get,
It's about to get crazy.
It's about to get crazy, yeah.
Folks, we're going to stop it here because we could keep going on probably for another hour and a half.
And I need to eat and take my girls swimming before they have a coronary.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I got to eat too because right now my stomach is eating my backbone. So I got to eat something. But guys, if you have not done so already, please like this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We'd love it if you did that for us. Really means a lot. But yeah, just thank you all for joining us. I know we started out heavy. Obviously, this weekend has been very sad and tragic, but we started out heavy. But, you know, again, you know, thank you all for participating in the chat. That always helps the show. And everything. So thank you guys so much. Tomorrow night we are back for Impact. So if you're not an Impact fan, come join us. They won't be doing any wrestling, but they'll be going over the year that was 2020 in Impact. And if you're not a fan of it, please check it out. If you check it out at least once, I honestly believe that you'll enjoy it. Thursday is going to be absolutely insane. We are going to have a mega stream. That's what I'm calling it.
A mega stream.
No one else is calling it that except me. I guess maybe it's a thing now. But if you have not heard, we are interviewing Josh Alexander and his wife, Jade Chung. And not only are we interviewing them, but we are interviewing them live at 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Join us for that. We are also going to have, and Jodie doesn't know about this yet, but I'm going to put her on the spot. We're going to have a live episode of Abby's Window, just a quick little episode on Thursday, where we can probably talk a little bit about what happens tonight. Not only that, but we're also going to have a special edition of Cooking with Tazzy. We're going to be doing favorite moments of the year. There's a ton of stuff that we're going to be doing Thursday. It's to celebrate New Year's Eve, to kick 2020 in the rear end and tell it to get the hell out of here because it's been terrible.
We're going to give it a low blow.
Yeah, we're gonna give it a shot right in the twig and berry. So so let me stop talking. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you don't have anything to do right now, I got a suggestion for you. go check out Tazzy. And I think he's streaming tonight. I believe. If he's streaming, go check out Tazzy. If not, enjoy Raw or whatever it is that you guys are doing tonight. Be safe, and we will see you next time. Take care, everyone.
La